Hi, everybody. Welcome again to our channel, Our Scientology Stories, Peeling the Onion. My name is Mark, and we're here for some church chat. And I'm going to introduce my co-host, Janis Gillham Grady. Hi, Janis.
Hi, Mark. Good day, everybody. Church chat it is. What
Church
fun.
chatting away. Isn't that special? Anyway,
I remember that.
You do or you don't?
I do.
Okay, cool. Anyway, this is going to be a short show. This is going to be about 40, 45 minutes, okay? We've got a full live stream tomorrow that we're going to tell you about, but get in the chat if you want to ask some questions. I'm going to put up, comments and things like that too, and we'll be going on that. We'll get started on that right away because we've got a heart out. We're going to a friend's luau birthday, and I've got my Hawaiian shirt already set up.
And I have to change.
First things first, Janis. Remember I told you we got a Mr. Bill doll, right? From John Sostowski, right? Well, yes. He then sent us, because I mentioned that, oh no, the dog, she wants it, but she'll tear out the stuffing. So what did he do? He sent us a Gumby doll. He sent one for Misha and then one for each of your dogs, Rocky and Moose.
That's great. They will love it.
Yeah, so we want to say thank you very much, John Sosowski, for that. It was a very generous gift, and we really appreciate it. It gave me a good laugh when I picked it up. Yeah, like here he is right here. He says, Gumby, damn it. Eddie Murphy used to play Gumby on Saturday Night Live as well. He was hilarious. And that was the Gumby, damn it. I'm Gumby. Anyway, John, thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. Also, we want to let everybody know too that we hit last Thursday when we did our last what was it, freestyle chat or freestyle rap, whatever.
Freewheeling.
We wanted, freewheeling, as some people said. We wanted to, we needed members to hit a certain target. Well, we got 16 memberships during that show and shortly thereafter. Okay. So we actually hit our target. So we want to thank our loyal subscribers out there. And we have a lot of new members. We have one new member that just joined today, Jill G. Okay. And then we also have Cheryl Luz7 from Las Vegas, who joined since the show as well. So we could still use more. If you want to join up, you get great benefits. You get just our starter membership is just $3.99, and that's just to show some support for our channel. There's no contract; you can cancel at any time. Our professional level is $9.99, and you get one of Janis's canvas shopping bags. And also, we are going to do a monthly StreamYard live stream with our professional members, and then our Peeling Masters. Our top of the line, that's $19.99 a month. And that one you get a signed autographed copy of one of Janis's books, and that's free shipping in the United States. And then also we're going to be doing one-on-one live streams with you for 10 or 15 minutes once a month. So you'll be able to, chat with us and get involved and stuff. So anyway, so if anybody's interested in joining, just hit that join button, okay, on our homepage with your laptop or your computer. Or Android phone, or if you have an iPhone, you can, if you go through Google Chrome and go to YouTube through Google Chrome, they have a join button then when you go to our page. You were going to say something, Janis?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a peeling master and you live in Las Vegas like Cheryl does, you get the book delivered to you personally for lunch.
That's right. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so we want to go ahead and get started. We've got a few slides. We're going to tell you a few stories and also let you know what we're doing tomorrow. Okay, and also just if you have comments or questions, Janis, if you'll start the questions, and also we'll put up the comments and stuff. This is basically freestyling again. So if you're in the chat, get in that chat. You can super sticker us, super chat us, whatever you like. Anyway, this is our church chat Saturday. Okay, and I've got a couple photos here to show from you, Janis. Who's that?
That is my granddaughter, Elizabeth, with my daughter, and she is feeding carrots to a little pony my sister got for her and the other grandchildren, and that's Bandit. And she goes out and rides Bandit, every couple of weeks.
That's fabulous. Before we can move on to the next slide, we just got a new member, Bunny became a YouTube member. We want to thank you for joining, Bunny, and we really appreciate that joining up. Thanks very much. Okay. All right. So the next picture we have is, who are those two handsome men?
That is Moose and Rocky sleeping by the poolside. I was in the pool. That's where they lay while I go swimming. So I grabbed my camera and got a ground level photo of them.
So you're in the water. You're not actually lying on the ground with them, right?
No, I'm in the water. So I'm below.
Okay, great. All right. And then the next picture here. All right, Janis, who's that?
Yeah, this is on the left is my sister and a friend, Tony, myself, and Miles, my cousin, who was visiting from Australia. We went to the Wynn, where they had a great new show from Cirque du Soleil called Awakening. So we went and we had an awesome dinner at the Wynn and then saw the show. And now Miles has gone back to Australia, and I'll see him again next year.
Fabulous. Was it a good show?
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, amazing how they did all the special effects.
Is it, before they had a show there that was in the water, is it a water show or
no?
No, not in
it's
the water.
all they've got the stage moving up and down and around and, all sorts of stuff, and then stuff coming from above.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay, next. Oh, this is a picture. My brother posted this today. This is my brother's cats, and that's Ruby and Yoda, and they're really beautiful cats. I don't know if they're some kind of Persian, they're long-haired Persian or whatever, but they're really cute cats. And so I since Janis had her dogs up there, I figured, I got to share some cuteness up there. So there you go. That's my brother's cats. Okay. All right. I told you on Thursday that I was having car trouble. I know, Janis, you had a flat tire that you were dealing with when we were on our show.
Well, yeah, that got handled.
That's got handled. Mine my car was overheating. And of course, we live in Las Vegas. And I got quoted. I had it checked by an auto repair shop here. They quoted me $1,330 to repair my car. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. So I have a friend who I've known for about 10 years. His name's Chris Devon, and he can take a car completely apart and put it back together. No problem. I mean, this guy is a whiz. He's done work for me on several cars over the years. So anyway, I said, Chris, can you do it? I'll buy the parts and you do it. So yeah, no problem. The only thing is that he lives out in the desert. Okay. So you can see there the blue dot, that's Las Vegas. And then he lives in Crystal, which you can see in the upper left, right? It looks pretty close, like maybe an inch, but it's actually about an hour and 20-minute drive. There's freeway or not freeway, highway to get to where you see right above the T in Crystal. And then it's dirt road. Okay. And you can notice right in the center, it says Charleston Peak, 11,916 feet. That's Mount Charleston. And you have to drive around that to get there. Right. So it's an hour and 20 minutes. And I've got a car that I'm worried it's going to overheat. Right. While I got out there. At any rate, so this is like where he lives. He's out in the middle of the desert. I mean, he's got 30 acres of dirt and gravel, and he lives in a house out there, and he's got a garage, and this is looking from his property in several directions. So he's way out in the desert. That's his garage, and my car is right there in the center, and these are other vehicles that he works on, And the reason he lives out there because he likes living. He's got a towing business, but he's really a genius when it comes to fixing cars. So I didn't have any problem coming out there. So anyway, so we pulled in. Of course, my car is filthy dirty from all the dirt road and everything. But basically what had to happen is they had to replace my thermostat, which was easy, but then had to replace the radiator fan. It's a whole unit. And I had to order it. So I had to order it and we had to come back the next day. And then it took about 2 or 3 hours to take it apart. That's the fan unit there that we were putting in front of the radiator. And that's the car being torn apart because to get the old one out, you got to take all these tubes and everything and all sorts of stuff out. And that's Chris there with the with the fan unit, and then he's putting it in after we took out the other one, because the other one took a long time. And then that's it. And so now my car is ready and back in action. And so I made it back last night, driving another hour and 20 minutes back to get home. But it saved me the $1,300. It actually, all in all, cost me about $600 to fix everything and have him do it. So that was that. Next information, Janis, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to. There's a lot of old timers out there who watch our show, and I just wanted to acknowledge a good friend of mine, Eddie Walters, who just passed away on Wednesday. Eddie had been around since the 60s in Scientology. He was the manager at the Sands Hotel and Casino, which was mob owned at the time. So Eddie was pretty well connected here in Vegas. He got into Scientology through Frankie Freeman. And Frankie was on the ship with us. And Eddie became a Class 8 auditor in the 70s. He was very dedicated to helping my mom. And if she needed a drive from LA to Las Vegas, she'd just call Eddie and say, "Hey, hello, darling, would you like to pick me up and take me to Vegas?" And Eddie would drive all the way to LA and get her and bring her back. And he just enjoyed doing it because they got to spend hours in the car together chatting. And this is a page from his photo album that he sent me several years ago when I was trying to collect photos. And that's him doing a lecture on Scientology. And the lower left is Eddie as a young man with Loy Young. A lot of old timers would know Loy. She was the executive director of the Las Vegas org. Then in the top right, that was Loy in her later years. She passed away, about 2-3 years ago, because I did a memorial service for her when I did one for Bill Franks and Amos Jessup. And then in the bottom right, that's a younger Frankie Freeman, who also passed away within the last few years. So anyway, I just wanted to bring up Eddie, incredible friend. He was always there. And even last week, he was watching my shows and encouraging me. And I talked to him on the phone, about 2 weeks ago. I called him just to check on him because I knew he'd been in hospital. And he was hoping to get better so that he could come on and be interviewed, because he has such a great story, a Las Vegas story. But also, he was the man here in Vegas when Quentin committed suicide. It was Eddie. When Quentin Hubbard committed suicide, it was Eddie that the Guardian's office went to have him deal with all the officials and so forth. And I do have notes on that, so I'm going to have to dig those out for when I do the story on Quentin, because Eddie was planning to do that with me, but I'll just have to do it off memory and my notes from his stories. But he was definitely a great man and a great friend, and I will definitely miss him, as will many other people.
Yeah, we were planning, like you said, we want to do a show on on Quentin and his suicide and that type of thing. And Eddie, of course, like you said, he was the Guardian's office person here who they relied on in order to basically deal with the authorities and get the medical records. And it's quite a story. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Walters, then in 1982, then he left Scientology, and then he continued to audit, and he was like a field auditor and that in Las Vegas and around for quite some time. And like you said, he's got an amazing story. So hopefully we'll be able to tell that story soon. But yeah, rest in peace, Eddie Walters.
Yes. But, talking about Eddie and the fact that I just called and talked to him 2 weeks ago reminds me, when I did the memorial service for my husband, Paul, there were people who were saying, I was going to call him. And next thing you know, he's passed away. So I had mentioned to people there that if you think of calling someone, don't put it off, because you don't know what's going on in their life that you're then having to kick yourself for not having made that phone call or sending a little letter of love or whatever. So keep that in mind. If you think of calling your parents or a good friend, then just do it. Just take that 5 minutes and do it, because you know what? They will probably, most certainly, actually appreciate hearing from you and knowing that there's someone out there thinking of them.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we're getting some of these old-time Sea Org members, and we're interviewing them now, because they're getting into their 80s, and they have valuable history to share with everybody, and so that we're really lucky to be able to have that connection through you, Janis, to get to people like Ken Urquhart and Neville Chamberlain and other people as well. So anyway,
Right.
it's really good. Okay, then we've got an exciting live stream that we're going to be doing tomorrow. Okay, this is a man named Jim Mortland. Okay, he was a longtime Sea Org member, and he's somebody that we knew at the international base, and we're going to be interviewing him for the first time tomorrow. Okay, live at usual time at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific. Okay, and I used to work with Jim all the time, because he basically oversaw the construction of the major buildings that we were building at the Gold Base, starting with the music studio, the L. Ron Hubbard spaces, and things like that. And he was invaluable. He was such a valuable person. Okay. And Janis, why don't you explain right here what this is?
Well, back in February, I did a road trip with Cheryl Detcheff. She's front right. We were out for 7 weeks road tripping from Las Vegas down through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. We went all the way down to Florida, spent a few days in the Keys, and we came up and we went through Virginia, where we stayed with Ronnie Miscavige. Ronnie is in this picture between Cheryl and I on the right side. And
that's David Miscavige's older brother.
Yes. And while I was there, since the last chat we had, we talked about Vegemite. This is the size of a jar of Vegemite that Ronnie gave me, because when his dad, Ron Miscavige, passed away, he had 2 of these jars. So I got one huge jar of Vegemite that I have to use up. So anyone who likes Vegemite is welcome to come and have some toast at my house.
Isn't that special? Okay, anyway, so carry on. Who else is in the photo? Who's our guest?
On the left, in the blue shirt, is Jim. And
Jim Mortland, yeah.
Jim Mortland. And I've known Jim for years, probably as long as you have, Mark.
Yeah.
And behind him in the white sweater is his lovely wife, Sarah, who I also worked with when I was on the Watchdog Committee. I worked with her and her sister, which is Biddy Miscavige. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so Jim's going to be chatting with us tomorrow, and we're going to have a good time with him, with lots of old memories coming up.
Yeah, and then also Jim, for those who don't know, Jim was married to Amy Scobie for 17 years.
17 years, yes.
Amy Mortland. So that's Amy's prior husband to Matt Pash. So
and anyway, I was a bridesmaid in that wedding.
Yeah. Anyway, so just like I said, we've got lots of photographs of the Gold Base at Gillham Hot Springs, California, and you see a lot of the buildings there. That's what it looks like more recently. That's not like what it looked like when we were there, but Jim was involved with building many of those buildings, okay? But the other thing that Jim was involved in is after L. Ron Hubbard died in 1986, Pat Broker and Annie Broker, they continued to live up at the ranch up in Creston, California, which you see right here, L. Ron Hubbard's ranch. That's the ranch where he died in a Bluebird mobile home, right? Well, Jim Mortland was one of the people I was tasked with sending personnel up there to work for Pat and Annie at the ranch. And I sent Jim Mortland up there, and along with lots of other people, probably about 20, something like that, up there to continue doing whatever they were doing up there at the ranch that Pat and Annie Broker were continuing to do. So we're going to ask Jim stories about what it was like when he was up there working under Pat and Annie Broker, and describe the ranch. We've got lots of photographs, aerial photographs of the buildings at the ranch. And you can see right there the horse track on the left with the symbols, the Church of Spiritual Technology symbols in the center of it, so that from, a spaceship in the, going around the planet, L. Ron Hubbard can see it if he comes back in his future lifetimes to go down back to his house again. So that's what that is. And it should be very interesting having Jim tell a bunch of those stories. So that's going to be tomorrow, live, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Join us. It's going to be a live stream, so you'll be able to ask questions and all that. So anyway, we're excited about that, right, Janis?
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it'll be the first time he's spoken out, and just so everybody knows, Amy knows that we're going to be speaking with him too, and she's happy that he's going to be on. They're good friends as well.
Yeah, she sent us some photographs.
Yeah, so because Jim didn't have photographs, like a lot of us didn't, but Amy had some photographs, so she sent them to us, and we're going to go ahead and show that. Okay. All right. So that's what we have as far as our little slides and stuff. So we can go to some questions here because we get some time. So Janis, if you want to start any questions, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay.
Yep, I've been doing that.
All right. So here's a question from Chilahuac Riv. I always butcher that name. I'm so sorry. Any chance to interview Jeffrey Filbert, researcher from the early times of St. Hill? Do you know who that is, Janis? I don't know who that is.
No,
I'm sorry. Sorry, we don't know who that is. If you want to chat and, in the chat, put in more details, but it's not somebody we've never heard of before. Anyway, thanks for that. Okay. And like I already told you, Bunny became a new member, so you can click that join button. Danielle Chamberlain asked, how could you join? And if you have an iPhone, what you do is you go through Google Chrome. Just go into Google Chrome and then search for YouTube. And then when you get to YouTube, go to our homepage on YouTube through that Google Chrome app, and then it'll have a join button there, and you'll be able to join on your iPhone. If not, just wait till you have your laptop or computer and you can do it there. So anyway, I just wanted to answer that.
Speaking of Danielle Chamberlain, she is on my list for interviews. Daniel, get ready. As soon as we catch up, we're coming after you.
Hey, Janis, Sea Org Day is coming up shortly too.
I know.
We're gonna have to do a Sea Org Day show. You know what I mean?
Well, one thing I was thinking of is that's the 33-year anniversary of my having blown. So I was thinking maybe we can get Jackson on and we can discuss the blow drill for when I blew.
We can, absolutely. And then we also can talk about what it was like on Sea Org Day when we actually got some time off and competed in
there.
Things,
Yeah. So. Great. Those were fun times. That was fun, Sea Org Day.
Yeah. Isn't that August 12th? August 12th is Sea Org Day? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, look forward to that, gang. We'll put together a show on it. All right, so let me go to the next question comment from Love Food Kitchen. I love the Janny and John interview today. That's with John Atack. So pleased you got together virtually for a chat. It was as fascinating as I hoped. I love how you both learned new stuff. Lots more, please. I haven't seen that yet, Janis.
Oh, I must say it was good.
Isn't that special? Could it be Satan?
Yeah. No, it was a good conversation.
Okay, great. Michael Feldman, a member of our channel. Question, is Mary Marin still field auditing? And do we have any information on Mary Marin? I don't know who that is. Do you, Janis?
Mary was married to Frankie Friedman. Mm-hmm. And they had a field practice together. And I don't have an update on Mary. I'm sorry. They were living up in Washington, I believe. Okay. And they had a independent group up there.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Michael, for that question. Next question. Yeah. Duchess Diana. I just finished watching Janis and Lara FM. That's right. You were on Lara's show again last night, right, Janis?
I've been busy. I was on for, I think it was 3 hours and 15 minutes last night. And towards the end, I think, after 2 hours, Jackson is in the chat, so she invites Jackson in. So the three of us are in at the end of it. And she's a riot. I have a lot of laughs with her. But we had a good time. We both wore goldenrod shirts.
They look orange to me.
Yeah, it was orange, but it was the closest we could get to goldenrod. But it was definitely fun. We're going to do another one. She's got 11, 11A, and we're going to do 11B next because we just don't seem to get through. There's just so much to say.
Okay. Yep, she's a lot of fun. Okay, next question is YouTube watcher. Question: have you been inside Bonneview in Gillham Hot Springs? What's it like? I've been through the old Bonneview, the one that was there when Hubbard was alive and that he actually spent time in, that not the big mega mansion that's there now. And Janis, you also had been in that Bonneview too, right?
Yeah, when we used to go to the base from X was the apartments where LRH used to live in Hemet. And nearly every day we would go from X to the Gold Base and do shoots, the movie shoots, films. And he would film in the mid-res, and then from there he'd go and have dinner or a snack or whatever at Bonneview. And so that's when I would go in there. And I did inspections of it and stuff like that.
It was a one-story house. I think it had three bedrooms, right?
Yeah.
And it was very probably built in the 1950s or 60s. It could have been just a house in any neighborhood in that area. It just was up high on a hill. So he called it Bonneview because it had a great view of the entire valley, right? And then it was renovated for him. And then when we were getting ready for him to return, if they ever got the all clear of the legal stuff, we was being prepared, and it turned out that they found that there was mold in the walls of the house. So Jim, we'll go over that tomorrow, but literally the handling was they jacked up the house on stilts. Okay, and then they got rid of the mold and mildew, and then they put a vapor barrier or a new foundation underneath, and then lowered the house back down, and that's how they set it back up for Hubbard. Okay, but this mega mansion, that was all David Miscavige's creation. I can't imagine L. Ron Hubbard in his lifetime would live in a house like that. Janis, what do you think?
No, he would not. He was happy with Bonneview. Totally happy with it. With the mold and everything gone, he never wanted anything huge or big, or what they have there now would not be something he would have wanted. That was just a waste of money.
Yeah. Anyway, this question's from Duchess Diana. I think she's talking about the Creston Ranch. Who lives there now? We have no idea. I mean, they own the property, and they maintain it just like they do the other properties. I mean, they did a whole project to buy up all the original houses and locations where Hubbard and Mary Sue lived from the 1950s all the way up, so they still have it, and I have no idea what they're doing there, but we'll show you photographs of it, and you'll get to see it. So
I know they usually had a married couple there. They'd take a married couple and have them be the caretakers of the property.
Yeah, I mean, when we were still in, Bruno and Julie Marisi were up there. They were the married couple that were up there, and they were two of the people that I sent up there when Pat and Annie were up there too. And they stayed up there. They were basically the ones in charge, at least when I was there.
I did. I heard later that Bruno was in the hole, so I don't know who replaced him.
Probably not. Yeah, I'm just saying. Up until 90, that's who I remember was there. Okay, next question, Moon Age Daydream. Question, do you have any plans for a photo book covering the history and your stories? That's a good question.
Maybe one day. I have thought of it, and then I think of time, and I haven't managed to master time yet. I still got to do the book 2.
You got to do the audio book, yeah.
And I've still got to do book 3, and I got to do a photo book, and I got to live my life, and I got a lot of stuff I got to do. So I just have to master time, and then I can get it all done.
Okay, great. It's a good idea, though. And, we're also going to be looking into doing some merchandising too, people. So anybody who's a designer or graphic artist or anything like that, if you want to contact us, we're looking for people to do designs and that type of thing for our channel. So we need a logo and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, you can email Janis at janisgillhamgrady@gmail.com. I know we have a lot of really artistic people that watch our show and or an SPTV universe. So anyway, give us a shout out, because we'd like to get some stuff designed that people would enjoy owning and having on their coffee with in the morning. Okay, so let me go to the next question here. Here we go. YouTube watcher question: as a follow-up to the previous one, since Janis lived there, was St. Hill well kept up, or was it run down from all the use?
When I was there, it was kept up. But I haven't been to St. Hill since January 1968. I've not stepped foot on it, so I have no idea. From photos I've seen, it looked like it was kept up.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much for that question. Danielle Chamberlain says, Neville says Filbert was foundation chaplain, and due to an embarrassing and unfortunate incident, the GO had him declared and thrown out of the country. Okay, thanks very much, Neville, for that information. That was that question that we had earlier, Janis. And then the gentleman who asked the question, or the person who asked the question, has a follow-up. We asked them, Jeffrey Filbert wrote the book Excalibur Revisited, where he includes some 70% of Scientology tech. Jeffrey says that the tech included in his book was developed by him, and he copyrighted it. But that's a new one on me. I like I said, I've never heard of him, so we'll have to do some looking into that. But it's not somebody that we have contact with.
Oh, Danielle says St. Hill is well kept.
Okay, good. Next question, YouTube watcher. One last one, Janis. Janis mentioned her father gave an efficiency seminar teaching ARC, which is Affinity Reality Communication. By chance, does she remember what was the content of the seminar? How did he teach personal efficiency?
Well, what he did was he would take the different bulletins written by Hubbard on that subject and lecture about it. And I actually, it's in a collection now. I had all his handwritten notes and originals and a book of all his lectures that he did. And I actually have on disc, I have all his, I have like about 30 or 40 of his lectures that I found copies of in his garage on cassette, and someone digitized them for me. But all his other stuff, I have that with a collector who does LRH library collections. So I don't have it here to reference it anymore. But he basically just followed what LRH said in different bulletins. Okay.
Great. By the way, everybody, get your questions in now, because we're going to be wrapping up shortly. This is going to be a short show. So if you've got questions, get in there. This is a comment from Duchess Diana. Comment: when you master time, Janis, please let us know. LOL.
You will all know, because you'll suddenly see these new products coming out.
Thanks very much. That's a funny comment. And then we've got a comment from Mary Klein, one of our channel members. I picture a koala wearing a Hawaiian shirt for a logo, or for that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Have a koala in a Hawaiian shirt, saying, right, Janis?
You squeeze the paw, right, Janis?
Thanks, Mary. That's a great idea. Okay, and then we've got a question here from Michael Feldman, also a member of our channel. Question: have either of you ever had an out-of-body experience in auditing or in life? Go ahead, Janis.
Yes, but I did on the ship, and I was not being sessionable, and I kept feeling like I was watching everybody walking down the passageway while I was supposed to be sleeping. I just couldn't sleep, and then I ended up having to go into session in order to interiorize, because I kept being exterior, looking looking at what was going on.
Fabulous. I was going to say that I did. I had experiences when I was getting auditing, but the when I really remember it is when I did the running program, which we are going to do a video on that one. When the running program, when you had to run around a tree 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, rain or shine. And the purpose was was exteriorization. And I got to the point where after 51 days, I was running and I was out of my head. I couldn't even feel my feet. I could run like the wind and just run. And I had a lot of unusual experiences when I did that running program. That's all I can say about it. And they were positive experiences. So anyway, Janis, you were the originator of the running program, right?
I didn't originate it. I was the first person. L. Ron Hubbard came up with the idea of have her get out and run. And that was supposed to handle my disaffection. I'm still disaffected.
Janis, you and I were guinea pigs on just about all the later processes, right? Between the running program, the purification rundown. I did it. Well, we did it. I did it before it was ever released to the public. Staff member did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't mean like we were the reason that they did it, but no, we did all that stuff. I got the happiness rundown, the what were some of the other ones? The truth rundown, all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? Because when it was coming out as a pilot program, and who you're gonna try it on? You're gonna try it on the staff.
Well, I remember on the happiness rundown being in session, and it was like it was a nightmare for me. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. It just wasn't going right. And I smiled my way out. I go to the examiner and I said, that was the worst session I have ever had.
So the unhappiness rundown for you.
Yeah.
But no, we were the guinea pigs on all the stuff, particularly if you were a certain case level. So like I was on my OT levels, Janis was too. So if there was some new OT processes, they needed people to test them out on, and we were the people. Anyway, thanks very much for that question. Do we have any others? I don't see any others.
No, I just started some new questions.
You did?
Yeah.
Hold on. I have not seen. I saw something. Oh, it was this one? No, that's not. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's.
Here we go. Here we go. I forgot. I missed it. Sorry, I'm out of it. Love Food Kitchen says, I go to St. Hill Seminary regularly for a good snoop around. It's beautiful, and unlike all ideal orgs, an incredibly beautiful ghost town. Thanks very much, Love Food Kitchen. Next question is from Martin Ottman for Janis. For how long was the Class 8 course delivered on the ship? Only during 1968 or until you guys landed in Daytona?
Oh, no, it was just a few weeks. It was not long at all. And then LRH did daily lectures to them, and he CS their folders. And if they didn't get a well done or very well done, they were thrown overboard. And I remember watching my mom get thrown overboard because she didn't get a well done session. And it wasn't a long period of time that they were there for.
Yeah, this is from Neville. Danielle Chamberlain says, answer to Martin, only in 1968, says Neville. The original Class 8 course was only run in the ship for a few weeks. And when the students graduated and returned to their orgs, Neville returned to the United Kingdom. Was he the supervisor for the Class 8 course, Neville?
No, Neville, I believe he was there for his Class 8 auditor training.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
he was a Class 7. He was like one of the top power auditors at St. Hill. And then he was on the ship for auditor training. Danielle, just make sure I'm correct on that with Nev.
Okay. We got two more, and then Janis, we're going to call it quits here. Question from Martin Ottman for Janis. While on the ship, did Hubbards talk to the staff during muster? Did he hold speeches to the assembled crew?
Not on a regular basis. There was a few times like he'd go to the aft lounge and the crew would be assembled for a welcome to the Sea Org tapes that were done. Or when Orson Welles' War of the Worlds, He had that record. He played that record for all the crew. When he was doing photo shoots, there were times he had everybody gather on the aft well deck, and he did a projection of the photos that he'd been taking. But it wasn't a regular thing. He more, on a day-to-day basis, he would talk to individuals, usually on a 1 or 2 basis. And then he'd go see the musicians, where it'd be all of the musicians. Well, that band, there were several different bands. He'd see the different bands, but he wasn't into doing big things on a regular basis.
Okay, thanks for that question. And this question here is from Dennis Mason. What does pull your manners in mean? I've never heard that term.
Must have been my accent, or I don't know what I said. Sorry.
Okay, Dennis. Hold on one second here, and I got to pull that down here. Okay, everybody. Just a reminder that tomorrow, join us again at 5 o'clock. We're going to have, it'll be a longer show, probably an hour and a half show with Jim Morton, a live stream interview with him. And like we said, we're going to go over Preston and the gold base and how he got in Scientology and all that jazz. And this will be his first time speaking out. So join us for that then, okay? And in the meantime, we would like to ask you, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. And Janis, what do you call it now when you subscribe to the channel?
Well, you subscribe, but
Yeah.
if you like what we've done, you rock slam the like button.
The like button, right? You
Yeah.
rock slam the like button. Rock slam it.
Oh, here, someone just brought up Buffy Lynn. Janis, I love your patience with Lara, who's still in a lot of pain. She's sweet and energetic, which led her to many, now I've lost it.
That's okay.
Many
I agree with you.
beatings at the ranch. Yeah. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, absolutely. And Janis has been on our channel twice. You know,
yep.
We're trying to throw support to people whose channels, you know, they're new and getting off the ground. We're happy to go on them, you know. So if anybody's out there watching, you've got a channel, you want to interview us, we're happy to help you out. So please, you know, just reach out to us. We want to also, if you want to become a member of our channel, like I mentioned, click on that join button on our channel homepage with your laptop, computer, or with an Android phone, or if you have an iPhone, you have to go through Google Chrome and then go to YouTube and then go to our page and click on join. So we want to thank you for that. We need more members. So we want to thank you for all that. And finally, if you have any questions, ask in the comment section. If you have questions you want us to ask Jim Morton tomorrow, hit us in the comment section. Let us know what you'd like to ask, and we'll make sure that we get those questions asked. Janis, is there anything else you'd like to say? I know this is a short show, but you know, we've got to get that koala in the Hawaiian shirt and go to the luau, right?
Yes, we do. So meanwhile, just rock slam that like, subscribe, comment, and have a good day.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.